What's the matter, man? What's the matter with you?
Hello, my name is Boby Donuffin, and today we're going to be taking a look at Tony Hawk's Pro Skater HD, which has just been released on Xbox Live Arcade for 1200 Microsoft points. Now the first thing I should point out is this game is not actually developed by Activision. It's published by them, but it's developed by a company called Robomodo, and rather than just lifting mechanics and levels from previous games, they've actually rebuilt it from the ground up. Another thing I should point out is that after years of playing Tony Hawk's games on the PlayStation, it was quite a shock to the system to move onto the Xbox controller to play it with its horrific D-pad. But after about an hour of playing the game, I was pulling off sick combos with no problems whatsoever. So what's good about this game? Well, the most obvious thing you'll notice is the graphics. The upgrade to HD and the attention to detail make this game really pleasing on the eye. Also, the levels themselves are very faithful recreations of their original counterparts from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2. Throw in with that some of the original music from those games, plus a few new numbers, and the game's starting to look pretty good already. There's a few new features which are welcomed in this game too, the first of these being quick restarts, where at any time during your run you can press the back button and have the option to restart your run without losing any of the challenges you completed in your previous run. And finally, there's been two new game modes added. The first of these is called Hawkman, which has been coined as Pac-Man meets Tony Hawk, and in this game you have to collect different coloured pellets around the level in different ways. You have to grind to collect yellow, get air to collect red, manual to collect green, and wall ride to collect blue. And I think this is a really fun way to learn the lines within a level, and it's a really cool idea. And secondly, we have Big Head mode, in which your head is increasing in size at a steady rate, and you have to pull off tricks and combos to prevent it from reaching 100% and exploding. Again, this is just a little bit of fun to help prevent the small amount of levels from growing stale. So now let's move over to the dark side and take a look at what's wrong with this game. And the first very painful and glaring omission is that there is no local multiplayer. I'm going to say that again, this Tony Hawk's game has no local multiplayer. And this is a huge disappointment and a bit of a deal breaker for me. So for those of you that were planning on getting a few of your best mates round and playing a bit of horse, I'm afraid I've got some bad news for you. There is, however, online multiplayer, but there is no horse to be found there either. It is instead replaced with Big Head Elimination mode, along with Trick Attack and Graffiti. The one other feature which is sadly missing is the Park Editor. Now, the ability to create your own levels instantly adds longevity to a game, and it makes me wonder, if this feature could be included in the game that was released over 10 years ago, why couldn't it have been included in this one? I've already mentioned about the lack of levels in this game, and there are in fact only 7, and 2 of those, Warehouse and Hangar, are far too similar, and in my opinion there's no room in any Tony Hawk's game for Downhill Jam. I mean seriously, who likes that level? And one last mild annoyance that I've found is with the respawns, and that occasionally I would find myself after a bail respawning inside a wall or half inside an object, and obviously with a 2-minute timer on the clock that can become frustrating. One final thing I should mention is that the first DLC for the game is planned for release in a few weeks, and with it comes new skaters, new features, and some levels from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3, including Airport and Canada. What these features will be, and whether or not they will greatly improve the game, remains to be seen, but I'm going to try and stay optimistic on this one. My only issue with the fast release of DLC is why couldn't it have been included at launch. However, it isn't the first game to hold back content to make some extra money, and it certainly won't be the last. Overall, this is a worthy entry into the Tony Hawk's Pro Skater franchise, and if you're not bothered about the lack of local multiplayer, and if you've got no problems with using an Xbox controller, then it's definitely worth your Microsoft points, especially with the first DLC on the horizon. It's a great looking arcade game which, despite its downfalls, still manages to provide a lot of entertainment. So thanks for watching. I've been Boby Donuffin, and don't forget to subscribe for all our future gaming videos, and I'll see you next time.